dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to 8-Bit Chazzy, the segment on this channel where I review the many games that I play over the years, sometimes those that I play on YouTube, sometimes those that I don't, but still in general, many video games in this playlist here have been reviewed, although there aren't too many of them today because I had to remove some because they sucked. I did them way back in the day when my YouTube channel was different, and I've been trying to redo them lately, Today is no exception. After 7 awesome gameplays in the corresponding playlist, right now I am finally going to be reviewing Rocket League, which honestly, man, is one of the best games I have ever played in my entire life, and still today it's very fun. It was originally released back in 2015, initially for the PlayStation 4 and Windows, but then soon after that, there were ports for the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch, and then the following year, it was also ported to Mac OS and Linux, and recently the game actually went free to play, so you can actually download it in any of those platforms and play it completely gratuitously, This game was actually, it kind of hit a fever pitch back in the mid-2010s when everybody was playing it online. There were online competitions and tournaments, people were making money with it. There were actual professional Rocket League players. The game essentially at its core is a vehicular sports game. Originally it was just soccer, where you would take cars with rockets and hit a soccer ball around, to try to score goals and whatnot, whether it's by yourself 1v1 or with teammates and stuff. And then they started to implement different game modes. There was hoops, which is the basketball version. Then there was snow day, which was the hockey puck. They even had temporarily this gridiron mode to try to football. It was really cool. The game itself is very easy to pick up and play. It's really intuitive. Honestly, the learning curve is not very steep at all. To become a Rocket League master, it does take years of practice, but the game at itself, the concept of it is really awesome. If you're a sports fan, even if you're not, but especially if you do enjoy sports, it's really cool to see this game here be illustrated in different sports that you play. It's really awesome, especially when you're playing with friends, whether it's couch co-op or online. It's really cool to form like little clans and stuff and play different online tournaments. It was always a lot of fun, still is today. I still think the game actually really holds up well, because just because it's free to play doesn't mean that it sucks. I actually do like it a lot, and it was developed by Psyonix, which honestly, I don't even think that they have ever made a game as more successful as that, It's really awesome. It's actually a sequel to this other game whose name I forgot, I do believe it was, here we go, Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars, which was a 2008 game for the PS3, and that's a very long ass name. And that was kind of the precursor to what became Rocket League, the game that we all know and love today. Really cool, really awesome. The different animations are just insane. And basically, the way that the game handles, the maneuverability, the playability in general is really simplistic. And so in an age where a lot of AAA cutting edge games are taking over the market, something simple as this with the graphics still pretty okay is honestly what makes things more fun at the end of the day. And also on Xbox there are achievements, on PlayStation there are trophies, the whole 9 yards. You know how it works. Really awesome game. I love it so much. And before I give you guys more details, let's take a look at a clip here from the game. Pretty cool, huh? Looks fun just by watching it, and trust me, it's a lot more fun than it looks, man. Once you actually get into it, holy freaking crap. And even though there are a few different game modes today, there are quite a few ones actually. There are even some that I myself haven't played, because I wasn't there when they were presented, like for example the gridiron. But the game itself is essentially described as soccer but with rocket powered cars, so that is always going to be the most popular game mode. But like I said before, there is soccer, there's basketball, there's hockey, there's also this one called drop shot, which is essentially like the entire arena becomes like a grid of sorts, almost like like a hexagon thing where the ball actually drops and it creates holes that the ball falls through so you can score. When I played that on my channel, very confusing, not a lot of fun, but still I had a blast while I was doing it. There's also Rumble, which you can add a different bunch of mutators and stuff. Basically each game mode offers a unique presentation on the Rocket League format, and even today it still holds up really well in my opinion. Now I started playing this game back in 2018 when I bought my Xbox One, and in 2018 the game was already skyrocketing popularity because it saw upwards of 10 million sales all across the board, all over the world, and it was being played by 40 million people. One of the greatest aspects of Rocket League is that it's cross-platform, so somebody on an Xbox One can play with somebody, you know, on a PS4, for example. It's really cool. The graphics and the overall presentation are awesome, and even though there was some initial criticism directed towards the physics engine, and it has gotten a lot better over the years, today it handles very smoothly, you know, very few bugs and glitches, if any at all. I don't think I ever saw any bugs or glitches in Rocket League, you know, all the years that I played it. You know, I kind of played it on and off, you know, throughout the years, and always constantly having it installed, especially because it's free to play now. I'll probably never delete it because it is a lot of fun. Now, like I was saying before, different game modes involve you or a group of other players, you know, trying to score goals on the opponent's side of the field, you know. So there can be upwards of 8 players on the arena at any given time, because you can do 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4, you know. You can even do this offline single player game mode called Unfair, which is basically you against 2 or even 3 other bots, you know. It's really cool, but as the game mode says, it is unfair, you know. Even on rookie difficulty, it's pretty complicated. You can change the difficulty, you know, from rookie to, I think, maybe all-star. I forgot how there. I think that the hardest difficulty is unfair, you know, and it just keeps going according to your skill. And now essentially, when there are online, there are multiplayer and single player game modes, but they all work largely the same, you know. And of course, it's kind of better to play online because you have actual real people playing against you instead of just the AI, which does become predictable at some point, you know. And so the goal is to get the ball into the other half, into the other goal a certain amount of times. You can modify game settings, you know, like for the game to end after a certain number of minutes or a certain number of goals being scored. You can also change the ball type, you know. You can have a literal ball or a beach ball or a cube or the special edition ball or a basketball or the hockey puck. You can change the size of the ball, you know, make it gigantic or medium or small or tiny. You can change the physics, make the ball be really heavy or light or have a curve, you know. It's really insane. The mutators are one of the most fun parts of the game, especially in Rumble. Rumble is a game mode where every 10 seconds somebody in the game randomly gets a power up, you know, whether it's a boxing glove to punch the ball or a boot to kick another player or something to switch places or make them go faster or kind of like a plunder to grab the ball, you know. It's really awesome. There's a lot of variety, and also there are so many different maps, different arenas in the game, each one having its own little charming aesthetic, you know. I had a lot of fun exploring it while I was playing on YouTube. I thought it was really awesome. And holy freaking crap, man, it's really insane how the game works. And even today, there's a truck driving by. Even today, holy crap, man, it's the garbage truck. The garbage truck is driving by. Yes, oh yeah, because, oh right, that explains it. I forgot to mention, guys, I'm recording this video around 8 o'clock in the morning. I woke up extra early before going to work so I can get this video done, and I forgot that the garbage truck drives by at this hour. And also apparently a Volkswagen Beetle. But anyway, so yes, Rocket League, very fun game, you know, cars reminding me of that. You can also customize the actual cars. You can create different cars, you know. There are different models, you know, bodies that you can choose from, but you can modify the decal, the color, you know, the patterns, you know, the paints. You can modify the boost and the goal animations, you know, the wheels. You can customize the cars in any way that you see fit. I actually have a few different customization options, different cars that I used, you know. And in every one of my 7 gameplays, you saw one different car, you know, from my garage. It's really awesome, and I spent so many hours customizing my vehicles. It was really a lot of fun, and it just keeps going, man. The game is very, very simple and intuitive, and because of that, I can never get bored of it. Before I continue, let's take a look at another clip here from it. One of the other miscellaneous elements that Rocket League, you know, implements into the gameplay is Demolition Derby. So depending on the circumstances met within the game, you can actually destroy other players' cars, you know. You can run into them really quickly or hit them a series of times and also just make them explode completely. And usually whenever the ball goes into the goal, there is already an explosion. It sends anybody who's near it flying, you know, but that doesn't actually destroy them. But the more that you play, the more that you demolish other players who do respawn after a few seconds, you know, the more addictive it gets. gets, because whenever you get demolished, you know, at least with me, I want to get my revenge, so I want to focus on that player and demolish them, you know, immediately. And now there are different boosts that you can get on the field, you know, to make your car go faster. The boost fills up to 100 and then it goes down, of course, as you use it, but you can use a mutator to modify it to make it unlimited, which does make it a lot of fun. Mutators are a very fun part of the game, in my opinion, you know, because sometimes you're just kind of bored of the same old, so you might give yourself unlimited boost, or, you know, bring down the gravity or bring it up, you know, make the car literally fly around or barely get off the ground. It can be fun. You just gotta, you know, be creative with it. It's really cool to implement certain mutators, like make the car hit the ball really strong or really weak, like make the ball be heavy, you know, or light. So that's actually a lot of fun as well. Well, you go around the map getting the boost at first, you know, you can goaltend, you know, stay a little bit further back and wait for the ball to come and hit it out of the goal, or you can just go straight in. I usually do the latter, you know. And now, because it does encourage teamwork, you know, you have to kind of work together with your teammates and also become a little better at the game itself before you actually go online. For example, there are different training matches that you can do. You know, you can train by yourself, you know, do different game modes. I do believe that at one point players were even able to upload their own little training regimens, you know, so others could actually learn the game more. There is a bit of a learning curve though. For example, the car does jump. You can jump with it and do flips and turn around and stuff. And there's also a boost, like for example, the boost that makes your car go faster. If you jump, it can actually make the car temporarily fly. And the more you practice and the better you get at it, you can actually make the car pretty much take off, you know, and control it in midair, which of course is a mechanic that is largely used to hit the ball and score the goal, you know. I have scored quite a few epic goals both online and offline using this, you know. It does get really awesome. It is very addictive, and I do believe there was a time where you can sign up for something called a rocket pass, which would give you better you know, in-game stuff, you know, not necessarily make you better in the game, but they were largely aesthetic, you know. It could make you look better, could get you some new cars and stuff, different decals and customization options. I never felt the need to buy this because I always felt that the base game was already a lot of fun, you know, and there was already so many customization options as well. But it has expanded, you know. There is even an esports version of Rocket League, like I said before, you know. I'm gonna read it for you guys right here. Basically, the esports is, nope, that's the wrong place. Okay, so now there are a few these esports are largely played on Twitch and other platforms, you know. There was even a Rocket League Championship series, you know, and it took place back in 2016. And get this, there was actually a prize pool of $55,000 for whoever won that championship, man. $55,000 just to be good at Rocket League. That's freaking awesome. And there was more than $1 million in revenues from the sale of in-game crates and also cosmetic items, you know, which were used to fund additional competitive events throughout the year. So there were some microtransactions here and there, but I never paid for anything. I never felt the need to, you know. So yes. And then later on, oh, also it did become an officially sponsored esport event, you know, joining the ESL. And in September 2015, there was this thing called the Pro Rocket League, which joined the MLG or Major League Gaming World, you know. And it there was a tournament that was $75,000 in the prize pool that was held through early October. It was freaking insane. That was back in 2017. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't want to keep talking about that, you know. It's just, but the game is popular because of this, you know, because of the esports expansion. I have actually played with certain people who were really good at the game, you know, over the years, and it's freaking crazy how it still holds up today. I can still play it and feel like, you know, I just don't get bored of it. Rocket League is one of those games, man, that just, I don't know, it's like sports games or like Gears of War for me, you know, Bioshock. It's timeless, you know. It's a game that you can play over and over and over again, and you never know what's gonna happen. Especially when you blend in the aspect of sports, because in sports video games and sports simulators, you never know what's gonna happen, dude. You know, just like in a real sports event in real life, it's very unpredictable at times and a lot of fun. Rocket League is one of those games that honestly will never get old in my opinion. I just love it so much. There's just really nothing else I can say, man. The vehicular combat, the demolition derby, the way that you can score goals and stuff, there's really nothing else that I can say. And so because of that, I'm gonna show you guys one more clip here and then go on to the final stretch of my review. Now, towards the latter part of the 2010s, Rocket League started to be nominated for and winning multiple awards across different events in gaming, you know, included but not limited to E3, the Game Awards, the DICE Awards, the Game Developers Choice Awards, the BAFTA Game Awards, and the Golden Joystick Awards, as well as the Gamers Choice Award. It started to win different nominations. It started to receive different nominations, and multiple of them in each category, though, in all of these game events, and winning quite a few. And it had millions of players playing it, you know, up until that point. Even when it went free to play, I think in 2020, it did go free to play in 2020, right? Or was it before that? No, yes, in 2020 the game went free to play, and even today it's still, I'm pretty sure they're still raking in a lot of money. You know, there are people who still play. The game itself has had a lot of different modifications to the main menu, you know, different game modes being implemented and different core rules, so it's ever expanding. It does still happen today, because whenever I try to go online, I'd see a lot of people still playing it, you know, so there is still a very loving and dedicated community to keeping the game afloat, let's say, you know. Why exactly it went free to play, I don't know, because it used to be on Xbox Game Pass, you know, so I don't really know exactly how they're making the vast majority of their cash inflow, but still, it is very popular today. You can't deny that. Rocket League is one of those games that will never get old, man. It's always gonna be there, being played by us, especially by me, because I'm a huge fan of it, you know. I like to play largely single player offline, because then nobody bothers me, you know. I'm not a big fan of playing online anymore, but still, whenever I do, I still have fun, even when I lose, because I make friends, you know. I have teammates. I have played with buddies before online, you know, with them or against them. It's really cool. I have gotten almost every single achievement in the game, by the way. I do believe there are 25 achievements, you know, worth a total of maybe over 2,000 gamer score at this point, or maybe right around that. I have 22 of those achievements, you know. I just need 3 more, which is for, I believe it is for playing 10 matches, you know, with a club player, online matchmaking, to score a goal in online matchmaking with a friend in a club, and also getting the MVP award in an online tournament, which is 75 gamer score. Been trying them for years, you know. Maybe I'll still get them, but it's tough, man. Those final few achievements are not easy, but as long as I don't really care. The game was honestly one of the most fun grinds I've ever had to getting achievements, you know, because you can get them online or offline. It's really cool. Some of them are cumulative. They just come with time, and others you can get pretty quickly. That's why I like it so much. One of the most fun achievements I've ever seen in any game, whether it's on the Xbox 360, Xbox One, or Xbox Series X, you know. Freaking awesome. But I think that's it, guys. If I had to give this game a rating, which I will, it will of course be, unsurprisingly, a 10 out of 10. I mean, there's really no way around it, you know. One of the best games I've ever played in my entire life, you know. I could easily put this game on my top 10 list of the top 10 games of all time, you know. I think I probably will. I have to redo that list, by the way. I did it many years ago, and it's very outdated at this point, so I gotta go back and redo it. And very likely I will put in Rocket League, because the replay value is insanely high, man. You know, even today in 2023, people are still playing Rocket League. When I rebooted it again to do videos for my YouTube channel, it just came, all of the nostalgia came flooding back to me, you know. One of the first games that I played on the Xbox One, and it just doesn't get old. And that's it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Rocket League, if you've played it, if you're a fan, if you're not a fan. If you haven't played it, well, you definitely should, you know. Really worth it, believe me. And that's all I have to say about it for now. So if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell too, so you can know exactly what time I upload those videos, even though I'm pretty close to finishing at this point. This is my 999th video, man. I'm almost finished with YouTube for a while. Oh my god, what will be of my 1000th? Anyway, guys, this is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen. Possibly one more clip from Rocket League and then the outro screen, or not.